So yesterday I watched a video clip where Boosie mentioned he just bought 40 acres of land for $250,000 from a couple that paid $1 million for it. They were getting a divorce. He stepped in and now he's building a 22,000 square foot mansion on this property that's going to be worth upwards of $50 million. He said his total investment for the entire thing is going to be about $3 million, but the valuation afterwards is going to be $50 million. That's not just a flex. That's one of the smartest real estate plays I've seen from a celebrity real estate investor in a long time. Now, obviously, there's a couple of others that made some really good decisions when it comes to real estate, but I wanted to highlight this particular situation because it ties in to what we do as real estate investors on a daily basis. Boosie looked for motivation. That's what he bought, not the property. And I'm going to break it all down for you in this video. Before we jump into it, let me give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Baselane. Baselane is an all-in-one real estate investing platform that allows you to automate the important things in your real estate investing business. For example, automatic rent collection, instant reporting, no monthly fees. I use this every single month to collect rent from my properties, so I can see the cash flow that I have at the end of the month on autopilot. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm here in the Baselane dashboard, and as you can see, you can set up landlord banking, rent collection, and bookkeeping all under one roof. So as a landlord, this makes things easier for me because I can simply go in, open a Baselane banking account, monitor all of my banking records right in this particular dashboard. Now, mind you, this is a banking platform. They're not an actual bank. This is just a banking software. But once I open up this account, I can have all of my rents from each individual property go into different accounts. So let's say, for example, I have 123 Main Street, 124 Main Street, and 125 Main Street, and I wanted a different bank account for each of these properties. I can set this up in Baselane just to keep records separate from each property. And then once I put a tenant in there, I can set up automated rent collection. And in addition to that, I have the bookkeeping service where all of their transactions will be kept clean throughout this entire software. So these are just some of the features that Baselane has to offer. It makes it really easy for you as a real estate investor to be able to operate your business, to know what your income is and what your outgoing is so that you can understand what your cash flow is at the end of each month. So be sure to check out Baselane by using the link in the description box below, especially if you're serious about automating your real estate investing business. Let's get into the content. Now look, as I've mentioned, I really want to dig into the smart play that Boosie made, but what I want to highlight is the simple fact that you don't need to be a rapper or a celebrity to make these kind of plays. Us real estate investors do this every single day. What we're looking for is a problem that we can solve. Once you can identify a problem, you can make a profit by helping somebody out of their situation. This is exactly what Boosie did. He found a problem and he offered a solution to the problem, a quick solution that allowed the couple that was getting a divorce to get out of their situation immediately. And in turn, he was able to create a deal which will possibly net him $47 million. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and run the clip.
Yeah, it's not a mansion, it's an estate. I'm in my mansion right now.
Okay, but you're moving to your estate?
Yeah, I'm moving to my estate in a couple months.
Okay. How many square feet is your estate? Do you mind telling me?
It's 22,000 square feet.
22,000 square feet on 40 acres.
Yeah.
In Atlanta.
Outskirts of Atlanta, country, like the country, about 45 minutes outside Atlanta.
I mean, what are we talking about here? 10 million, 15 million here? Something like that?
Nah, basically I got a steal on it, man. I got the acres. I caught somebody going through a divorce. Man, and they bought the land for like $1 million. I gave him $250,000 cash. I put like $2.7 million in the building the home on top of it. So I came out with a lick, once it's built, you talking about a $50 million property.
Yeah, for $3 million.
Yeah.
My man. I love it.
All right, so let's talk about this deal. You got a couple doing well together. They buy 40 acres of land for $1 million. Somewhere in their marriage, things go bad, divorce hits. Usually when that happens, people want closure more than they want cash. And that's where Boosie steps in and offers them $250,000 to get out of their problem. So he offered the closure in exchange for the property. They just wanted to get away from each other. So what did Boosie do under these circumstances that you, as an ordinary person, a non-celebrity, a non-athlete, none of that? What did Boosie do that you can copy and that we as real estate investors do every single day? We find problems that we can solve. When we can solve problems, we can get discounted real estate, and in exchange, we can offer closure or a solution to someone else's problem and get paid for it. That's what we do as real estate investors. This is how you get bargains on pretty much anything in life. That's what we call buying motivation, not property. Again, Boosie didn't buy somebody's dirt. He bought somebody's problem. He offered a solution to a situation that they were going through, and he offered closure for them. Again, that's the same strategy that wholesalers, creative investors, and land buyers use every single day to get really deep discounted deals. Now, here's a couple of reasons why this was such a good deal. Number one, land is leverage. So if we do the math here, Boosie pays $6,250 per acre for that property. So if you take 40 acres and you divide it by $250,000, it equals about $6,250 per lot. That is dirt cheap land. Again, discounted property because he found a problem and he saw the opportunity in the situation. Most people can't find a quarter-acre lot for that much money. Number two, forced appreciation. So he's putting a 22,000 square foot structure on his property. And even if he spends $2.7 million building this property, it's going to instantly multiply the property's value because of the scale and the amenities. And number three, legacy equity. Now we talk about building generational wealth. We talk about legacy and things like that all of the time. This is a prime example of legacy equity. So he's not flipping this property for quick profit. What is he doing? He's holding on to the property. He's building the property up, and he's creating a family estate. You heard him say that he lives in a mansion. This is going to be his estate. That'll be worth $30 to $50 million for generations. So what's the lesson here? Don't chase quick flips. Chase undervalued opportunity, especially when somebody's motivated to sell. And it's the same concept I teach my students inside the Deal Pro Academy. You make money when you buy, not when you sell. And the longer you own a property, the more money you'll make on the property. The moment you sell that property, it's the moment you start losing money on that particular property. Boosie didn't wait for the perfect market. He waited for a motivated seller. That's what happens in divorces, estate sales, probate cases, foreclosures, and even when landlords are tired of dealing with the tenants. If you can find the motivation, you can find the margin. Now, you might be thinking, I ain't got $250,000 laying around. And the good news is you don't need $250,000 to make it happen. You can do the same exact thing on a smaller scale. Search sites like LandWatch, Facebook Marketplace, or even some of the auction sites for opportunities that fit within your criteria. Sometimes you can find land for as little as $20,000 or less. Sometimes it depends on the situation and the location of the property. Notice Boosie, he's buying in the Atlanta area, but the property is located about an hour outside of Atlanta. So he's not buying in the major metropolitan area. I tell people this all the time. Focus on secondary and tertiary markets. Boosie is more than likely in a secondary or tertiary market, being an hour outside of the Atlanta area. So if you can focus on properties in those secondary and tertiary types of markets, you'll find much better deals. And within these markets, you want to look for the opportunity. Look for the problems you can solve. Look for the life events, divorce, foreclosure, inheritance, relocation, any other type of distress that you can think of. Look for those types of problems, and that's where your opportunity is going to present itself. That's exactly where the discounts are hiding. And the great thing about all of this is once you own the land, or at least control the land, it's much easier for you to get the financing to build on top of the land, because your land now acts as your down payment for any type of structure that you want to build on that property. So control the land first, then worry about the structure structure if you want to go that route, if you want to build something on top of the land. Lately, we've been talking about farming. Maybe you want to do development. Whatever the case may be, control the land first, and then the cash will present itself because banks will be more than likely to fund you once you own the land. That acts as your skin in the game. And they'll be more than eager to give you the money because at the end of the day, once you put a structure on top of that property, it's drastically going to increase the value of the property. And they're hoping that you don't keep up with those payments. But obviously, you want to be responsible so you can keep your wealth. So basically, your land is your leverage so that you can do whatever you want on top of the land once you own it. So most of the time, celebrities, they flex cars and jewelry and things like that. In this case, Boosie is flexing acres. To me, that's the real flex. That's the difference between the rich and the wealthy. Assets appreciate, non-assets depreciate. This is general thinking. Imagine 10 years from now, 40 acres paid off, mansion done, and the land producing income and appreciating at the same time. That's how you beat inflation and create family freedom. And if you want to model this play, start with these 3 simple steps. Pick a market 1 to 2 hours outside of a growing city where land is cheap. Number 2, look for distress, divorce, estate sales, foreclosures, auctions, owners behind on taxes, whatever the case may be. Look for a problem that you can solve. And number 3, negotiate creatively. Offer terms instead of cash. You can literally structure seller finance deals with just a few $100s out of pocket and then turn it into cash flow through leases, RV spots, or even partnerships. Boosie's 40-acre deal is proof that opportunities show up when others are emotional. Whether it's a divorce, a foreclosure, or even fear of the market, stay ready. That's how you build wealth quietly while other people scroll past it. And if you found value in this video, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about this video. I'd love to hear from you. And also, if you need real estate coaching, be sure to check out Deal Pro Coaching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.